Bright colors for a dashboard play a drastic role in the whole design and appearance. Most users like to pick many different colors and spend a lot of time searching for them. Excel has a default color palette with a lot of good colors. I used to change colors only to charts, otherwise I would use default Excel colors. When choosing colors for a dashboard, the key consideration is not your taste, do I like these colors, but what messages the colors tell. Here's the thing. I'm not a graphic designer, and I doubt that you are. There can be many graphic designers watching an Excel dashboard course, though. I'm not even particularly good at matching colors for the clothes I wear, but what I do know is how to follow rules. Thankfully, there is a wealth of knowledge out there on the internet, so all we have to do is follow the rules as laid out by the people who do know. Select a color palette, and you must go to the Page Layout tab and click this button. You can change the entire theme or just customize the theme fonts, colors, or effects from this button. I suggest using 3 to 4 colors maximum in your dashboard. Here are the basic rules I follow. Gray is my friend. After white, the background color, the most used colors in my dashboard should be gray. Sounds boring, doesn't it? But that's the point. Everything on the dashboard cannot be a significant item, so if it's not worth highlighting, it should be gray. Add color only where needed to bring out the message. Sometimes it can be easy to include colors just because we can or feel that we should. Firstly, we should ask what is the point of this chart/table. Only when we have the answer, only then can we pick colors accordingly. Here is the stats for various projects showing whether they have fallen behind schedule at any point from January through June. Too much color. Once we decide that the purpose of this status is to highlight projects which are falling behind schedule, we can add color to highlight just this. This second table is much easier for our eyes and our brains to process. Humans can distinguish between 4 shades of the same color. One of the things I learned from Effective Data Visualizations, The Right Chart for the Right Data by Stephanie Evergreen, is that humans can quite easily distinguish between 4 shades of the same color. So if this comes down to your definition of color, but it means that many scenarios we can only use a single color in just different shades. Select a base color and then use complementary colors. There are tools that will give me complementary color palettes. I will give you 2 tools, 2 websites, to help you select the best color palettes. The first is colorlovers.com. It's a nice website where people from around the world share colors, palettes, and patterns. Let's explore it. Click on Browse and then Palettes. I will take some ideas from most favorites or loved patterns, as you can see. The second tool is the Color Wheel from Adobe. It's a free tool and you can create color schemes and palettes, or you can browse the most popular ones from the Exploring section. Here, as you can see, the main color. So if you put in the hex code, you get a list of colors that harmonize as well. Then you take the RGB color codes and put them in Excel like this. I suggest that you keep the colors of the chart elements simple and repeat the patterns. Now for the fonts, there are the 3 that I recommend and use in my dashboards: Verdana, Arial, and Calibri. It's better to use only 1 or 2 fonts, one for headers, one for body, and don't overdo it. Also pay attention to the height line and the alignments of text. Other elements are buttons, borders, shadows, and 3D. Try to avoid 3D. Use shadows only to show some of the header boxes or some important metrics. There are some important designer tips that you must know. The first one is using shapes. Shapes draw attention, and they are useful for the final presentation, but don't overdo it. The second tip is using conditional formatting. Look at these examples and how nicely they fit with the dashboard. The third tip is to freeze panes. You want simple rows and columns to remain in view all the time. How do we freeze this row, for example? Select the row beneath it and from View, go to Freeze Panes and select the Freeze Panes option. When you scroll, this row remains on top and it is always visible. The fourth tip is hiding rows and columns. You can hide, for example, calculations that are inside the dashboard. Finally, I'm going to give you some layout ideas. The first layout is this. It has 4 or more different boxes showing metrics and KPI numbers or trends. Then it has 4 or more different areas for charts and tables. This is my favorite layer. The second layout has 4 different boxes, a big chart, and a big table. The last layout that I recommend has small boxed areas where we can put metrics, charts, or key messages. It's quite good for comparing various KPIs and everything that has equal importance. I hope you found this lesson useful. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you want to learn more about Excel dashboards, check out my Udemy Dashboard Masterclass course. Don't forget to subscribe to get updates, and I'll see you in the next video.